Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Simply Together show. I've been out for a walk this morning. It's not, but don't look like that, Shelley, because I've been out for a walk. You don't need to call that face.
I was about to say where, when. How come I didn't bump into you?
About 9:15. Remy's gone with my car, and I had to drop her car right to the top of Sunderland Park. You know?
Oh yeah, I know those places. Wow. Yeah.
Dropped her car off, and then I took a walk back. Yeah. So it's warm, but a little bit windy, but maybe a slight cardigan. Don't need a jacket. And no rain yet. So anyway, how are you doing? How is everybody? How are you, Shelley?
I'm good, thank you. Yes, a bit of a rushing around the weekly endy kind of thing, but yeah.
Okay, rushing around doing what?
Well, we've kind of got the like the normal bank holiday stuff. There was stuff that was going on in the community, and yeah, so it was kind of see you later, husband.
Okay. How you doing, Nico?
It's all good. I'm still bemoaning the fact that we don't have any more bank holidays until the end of the year now. But other than that, it's very good. I saw Dee on Sunday, so that was really good.
Was that event lovely?
It was absolutely amazing. So, yeah.
Well, good. So we need to get our tickets for next year.
Lots of little people there.
Yeah.
So no, it's just because Shelley mentioned communities. So it was nice to see loads of like Plutonian people all together having a good time for a good cause.
Good. So we are going to have a conversation about the knife angel that is still in St. George's Square until Thursday? Friday?
Thursday is then the final evening of St. Nicholas, yes.
Okay. And then I just want to have just talk a little bit about purpose and our purpose in life. But we'll do that near the end because it's only quite short. So, Nike, you need to go and see the knife angel.
I know. I actually intended to go, but I think the day I was going, something happened and I just ended up not going anywhere near town. So yeah, now I'm calculating, thinking, where am I going to go? Because, yeah.
Well, I went on Sunday. I wasn't going there to do that. I went to catch up with my brother, and then I said, as we're in town, let me go and have a look. And I was just saying to Shelley before we came on, my brother does a lot of arts and crafts, so he looks at it from various different perspectives, and quite a good person to go with, actually, because I saw things in there that I don't think I would have seen if I'd have just gone on my own, had a quick look and went away.
All right.
Yes, it's stunning. It is stunning. The face is a bit scary, but the thing in general is stunning, and how they've done that and put it all together is, is absolutely brilliant. And I think you just need to go and have a look. So anybody who's watching or watches on catch up, go and have a look before it goes, because it is something to behold, really. And we're lucky enough to have it here. I don't know where it's going next. Do we know where it goes next?
No, I'm not actually sure. No.
Okay, but we've got it for another couple of days. But yes, have a look. Can you share those pictures or not?
Do you want your pictures to come up?
Maybe the one with the spine, but if you've got other ones, you could put those up. But it's obviously it's made up of knives that have been collected through the various amnesties.
Are they actual knives, or are they just the handles? I thought they were just
they're knives. They are knives.
Wow.
Handle and blade. It is knives, literally. So all of these on here that you can see, those are the blades.
Wow.
But in the middle, if you can see that, those are, which I think Shelley and I just said, they look like samurai knives, because they've got different kind of handles that, you know, depth handles, and that is all down the back, the spine at the back of the knife handle. And like I said, something that I wouldn't have noticed, but my brother pointed that out, because it is very clear. You can see that these all just down the middle, and then there's other bits, like there's, you know, there's some knives at the side that are just showing out, and they are just up the side on both sides. You can see it. It's the detail. The detail is just really, really impressive. And yes, they're knives. We get that. And they've most probably been involved in hurting somebody along the way, because I would presume you only put them in the amnesty box because you've used them, and not in my kitchen, you know. But somebody is, whoever worked on this has just produced this absolutely fabulous piece of art. So it's worth going to have a look. It really is worth going to have a look.
When is it there, the last day? Thursday, you said?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, maybe I'll pop down on Thursday.
Yeah, so Thursday afternoon, I suppose you could class it as. They're doing a walk of remembrance, so they're meeting at St Mary's Church at 4 p.m. and then walking all the way through town, and then ending up at St George's Square, and where they're doing then a speeches and that kind of thing, and a book of remembrance there as well, from 6 o'clock on Thursday.
So if anybody is around, get yourself down there. And, you know, even if you can't go there for 4 o'clock to be part of the walk, you can get there at 6 to go and listen to the speeches and what people are saying. Hello. Hi, Fisher. She hasn't seen it yet. Going to try and go down on Thursday, and she's going to be able to get there about 5:15, Nikkei. She's talking to
no, I work till 5:30, so I'm gonna go see, literally, because I did want to see it, and yeah, so I'm literally just gonna be going to see. That is just so awesome.
Hi, Tamar.
Awesome for so many reasons as well.
Yeah.
So with that angel, I just tell you, it's a bit of a personal story. So one of our, unfortunately, we lost one of our nephews, not to knife crime or anything like that, but that is one of the pictures we've got of him, is literally with those type of wings, and I'm looking at it, so that's just what it reminds me of.
Wow. It's it is quite special.
That person who did this is so clever. Honestly, they deserve an award.
Yes, yeah. And it's come from an ironwork, so obviously a lot of that is going to be soldering and stuff like that that they've then done to put everything together. But it's, you know, again, if you look at the back, they have got like choppers.
What, like cleavers?
Cleavers, yes. So at the back, there's the square cleavers along the back.
Walk with those things.
Yes, they walk with bigger than that. People walk with machetes.
Anything that has been put into those knife crime bins. So you would have had anything that they would have kept in their car, kept at home, kept on their person. It is really easy to be able to walk with a long knife down the side of your leg, and the big stuff, as you say, sort of like a meat cleaver.
The
actual chopper. It is durable, and you actually do see it out on the streets.
some of those, you know, some of those videos that they show where there's an altercation going on and things like this, you can see those primarily young lads, maybe girls as well, who knows, who will then take from the side and bring out this machete that's got a handle like this and a blade like that, because that has then just been down the side of their trouser leg. Yeah, they're walking. They are walking with these big instruments.
And they're also hiding them out in the community as well.
In places?
In places.
Okay.
Yeah.
You may have seen the police around certain parks and stuff, and in which they're actually out and about, and they're doing stuff like looking through undergrowth and things. And they actually were talking to a few of us as dog walkers. Had we actually then seen people around? Had we seen like them regularly going to a certain place? My own, where I walk the dog, he is actually he's actually gone into the woods in one particular part, and that is where they go and hide. It's just a corner of trees that they've actually then made stuff in the middle of, and then gone in and hidden stuff in there.
Wow.
So if they have an altercation, if they go running off, if they have I presume they're on like a WhatsApp kind of service of, we've just run into, come and help, and they're there. They've picked it up because they don't need to bring it in and out of the house. They've got it out somewhere, hidden it somewhere.
Wow. Well, that's kind of mind blowing, isn't it? It's when I've seen some of those videos and I've seen someone take the big machete from out of their tracksuits, because half the time they've got two pairs on anyway.
Yes.
So it goes in between the two pairs. I thought that was mind blowing, but to actually think that somewhere where you go and walk your dog, there's most probably an area where there are some instruments that are left ready for whatever kind of altercation that's going to come along.
Yeah,
that's quite scary, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's not only just being ready for altercations that come along. Obviously, it's not in their house.
Yeah.
So,
it's something that you can't be tied to it. You can easily use it, but you can't be tied to it.
Yeah.
It wasn't in my house. It wasn't on my garden. It wasn't in my possession. But anyone could go off, and if you know where it is, they could go off and then use it. Go off and then pick it up.
Wow.
It's scary how the mind then works and how you get around certain things.
Mm-hmm.
And also it's, so as everybody knows, I've lived here the whole of my life, and there's areas around where I live, that things then may happen, where I live itself. We've had people that have been stabbed, etc., etc. But to just think that when my friend Shelley goes for a walk with TJ, there could be some there.
Yeah.
That has a whole different feel to it.
Yeah, I think what freaked me out is because TJ, being a usual dog,
food
in there, they could have done anything. He's gone in, and I've gone in after him, sort of like get your arse out kind of thing. And I could be walking into stuff. I mean, I'm big enough and sort myself out. You never know. You just don't know.
But also, he could go scurrying in there and actually could get himself hurt.
Yeah.
By whatever's in that mound of grass or whatever it is. He could literally hurt himself going in there. So Tamar has said the knives are abundant, and in a heat of the moment, it can become an extension of someone's body, sadly. Yeah.
People do get hurt because they believe that because they've got the knife, they're okay, but they're not actually then knowing what they're getting into, and actually just makes it 10
That's what that
worse.
man always says, isn't it? Oh God, what's his name? Mr. The lawyer, Stephen Akinsoya, the guy.
Yeah.
He says it all the time. He says that, you know, you're carrying the knife, but you just do not know where it's going to take you in the future. And sometimes they will paint the picture because they forget it's not just that act in that moment.
Yeah.
I mean, that act in its moment is devastating enough, but the knock-on effect, you know, the ripple effect out to the person carrying the knife or using it, their family, the victim's family. It's, you know, it doesn't stop with the number of people involved in that set too. And it's so sad that they just, it's very, very sad.
And it kind of gets bigger and bigger, doesn't it? Because it's not necessarily about two people who have then acted in a certain way, because actually then it is then the friends and the family, and then it's the community, and then obviously it affects other things as well. And it, like you said, that ripple effect, it just grows and grows, and just gets bigger and bigger, doesn't it? So I was working bank holiday when you lot were all out having a lovely time. I was working. Haven't listened to any news about the carnival, Notting Hill Carnival, until I spoke to Shelley just now. So
can I just say, because the whole thing about the knife crime all comes where they're actually then doing the fundraising for the bleed kits.
Yes.
These bleed kits out in the community, just like having the defibrillators. Whether these bleed kits are in their pouch and they're behind a counter at McDonald's is one of the ones that in Luton that all of them have gotten behind. The fundraising that we did with Mecca Bingo was during the week. I mean, it was us that went along as fundraisers. There was a few other fundraisers, and anyone that went to Mecca Bingo that night was part of the fundraising. So hi to a few of my friends I knew that actually went to bingo. They actually raised almost £2,000, £1,978, £79, something like that. So I think that was like 2 external cabinets and 9 or 10 bags that they could actually have in the community, not just for knife crime, but for anyone that's bleeding heavily. So even if you have like an accident, a dog attack or anything like that, these bleed kits have got the particular ways of controlling, hopefully, those bleeds that then happen for something like this. So there's the whole having the knife angel here is not just having the knife angel here and bringing up those conversations. It's all this stuff that's behind it as well with the bleed kits that unfortunately we're having to then have out in our community. And it's leading from that then straight into the Notting Hill Carnival.
Just before you go into Notting Hill, obviously we've got Trisha on who's watching today and posting, who won big on Thursday and didn't even buy us a drink. But there you go.
Oh no, actually no. Yes, so there was 5 of us on the table. One of us won.
And we didn't even get a drink out of it.
To get nothing.
We still love you, Trisha, but even still, you know. Yes, I know. Jealousy. It's green. It gets you nowhere. Yes. But anyway, bingo. And I haven't been to bingo in years. And it was really quite fun, wasn't it? It was. And, you know, that Wingman Mentors are going to do another one before Christmas, hopefully around November time.
Nice.
So we will let.
It's a pity. I put that in my diary for the 22nd of September.
Why?
Because that's what I heard.
Oh, okay. Was it not the 22nd of August?
Yeah, I know. Obviously,
all right.
Where's she? I know.
We'll get the right date for you ready for when they do the one in possibly November time. But there will be another one, and we will promote it on here as well. But yes, go into Notting Hill then, Shelley.
I'm very interested to hear what you're going to say, because I've got something to say about that as well.
Oh gosh. Okay.
Yeah. Oh gosh, indeed.
There were 3 stabbings on the Sunday. One of them was a young mother that had her child with her. She still remains in critical condition. That's the one that they believe that she was in the middle of an altercation between 2 gangs of men. And they're not actually releasing whether it was someone that she knew or whether she just happened to be in the wrong place. And then on Monday, 5 people were stabbed, with 2 of those attacked being critically injured. And then there was 50 officers that have been injured during the event as well. So obviously they were then trying to go in, doing arrests and things, and got part of like a kickoff. So it wasn't just a kind of we've gone back to that kind of fighting thing. We've gone back to, it's not just a stabbing that's happened, it's the gangs all together. So that is a total of 8 people being stabbed and 334 arrests during that 2-day Notting Hill Carnival.
Okay.
And they're the only ones that have actually then been officially gone through the records, if you like, because we all know that stuff would have happened and they wouldn't have bothered going to the police. They would have done their own thing.
Yeah.
So all those arrests, there was about 104 people arrested on the Sunday and 230 on the Monday. Now, Sunday, Monday, the weather and stuff like that, could that have then been the difference because it was busier on the Monday than it was on the Sunday? But you don't know.
Well, because Sunday is primarily Children's Day. So they do a lot around the kids. So there's less people on the Sunday than there is on the Monday. There's always more on the Monday than there is on the Sunday. I'm scared to go to Nikkei because Nikkei's got an opinion on this. But I'm also quite relishing your opinion. So come on then.
No, it's not an opinion on that per se. It's actually a different angle, one that you would like, that you may or may not expect in that context. I was just curious. Because I kind of knew Shelley was going to come with numbers, so that's why I was interested. Because this morning, and I've forgotten his name, is a guy I follow on Instagram and TikTok. He's really good. He's a young guy that kind of breaks things down. But first of all, I just want to preface that, it's too bad. It's, any stabbing, even if it's just 1 or 2, in any number of people, it's too bad. And I just don't see why. I do not understand or agree with it under any circumstances. I was just curious, and I haven't seen any of the reported about it because, I try not to read anything because I just get annoyed and triggered about the way things are reported. But this guy kind of broke it down really interestingly, because Carnival, this Notting Hill Carnival, is still one of the largest gatherings. What he did is he compared it to Glastonbury, and it's 10 times bigger. Did you know that? I didn't even know that it was 10 times bigger. And obviously Glastonbury is French stuff as well, so that is slightly different. And it was just like comparing the numbers of the stabbings, the number of police that are involved, and the number of arrests. And it is actually, what's the word? It's commensurate. It seems really silly to say that, but it does go with the numbers in the sense that, you can almost say, oh, well, we don't get that many stabbings at Glastonbury, but there are 10 times less people there, and you do get things like that happening there. That's all. I wasn't going to say anything major or anything horrible. I was just curious to hear the numbers because I hadn't heard them. And,
it's
that's
difficult
still high. I just wanted to just say that because that is the mindset with which I think about things these days. It is that comparative thing at the moment, but it's still too many. I just don't. I can't just get my head around it.
And that difficulty as well is that, as you've just said, you know, the amount of people there, I would not even have thought it was 10 times bigger than Glastonbury.
So yeah, I would allow for some exaggeration and for some poetic license to make the post good. But I can't just remember his name, but he is a reputable person, and he does come with the receipts, as they all call them nowadays. But it just, I would never, like you, I didn't ever think of it in that context. I just always thought, in terms of the way it's reported, but that number to me is high, because three stabbings on one day in the same area.
Yeah.
I mean, but then, quite a lot of the arrests would be sort of like drug related, or you were mouthing off, or because you're quite close together, that you kind of like argy-bargy, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But if you think about all of it, that 3 firearms were recovered, and there was 49 arrests for other weapons.
Yeah.
Other weapons could be anything from a knife to something that they can actually then hit with. So, you know, like what used to be the old knuckle dusters and all that kind of stuff.
But the other thing that makes it sad for me is that when you look at the history of this carnival, that is why the carnival was started. It was, wasn't it? Because of all the, I mean, obviously it had more racial tensions. It was more about bringing the community together and proof that communities can live in a pot, and it doesn't have to be a melting pot. And I just think, God, those people, they will be turning. It's so not. Yeah, I don't have any answers. I'm just curious.
But also, I think, I mean, Tamar said, thank you, Nico, for making that clear, the numbers and the reporting. You know, it's, you know, as Trisha said, it's reported there was up to 1 million people there.
Yeah.
And then most probably was, because it's huge. It is absolutely huge. And I think it still is the largest one-day event in Europe. And it's held that record for many, many, many years. But if you think over the years, how people behave has then changed. Because I remember going when I was 18, 19, early 20s, and there was just as many fights, but people are using their fists.
Yeah.
Whereas now they're using something else.
You could have a huge bust up with someone because of so-and-so said so-and-so said so-and-so. They've bumped into one another. They've seen one another. Fisticuffs. Give it an hour. They're back and talking to each other, and you know. But you can't have that now. You have the knife thing, and it's a completely different outcome. But it's the same kind of argument. It's the same kind of beef that you've got with someone.
Yeah. And when you go somewhere like that, you don't go on your own. You know, you go with your mates.
Yeah.
So even as if I was going, I would go with some of my friends. So a lot of people are doing that. So there's more numbers there. I mean, I remember going many, many years ago. I must have been about 20, and there was quite a group of us that went, and a big fight started. And literally, the guys that we were with shoved us women behind them and just stood right in front of us, you know. Whereas now, they're going to use a different kind of weapon. They're not using their fists. They're using a different weapon. And it's so much easier. Say it again?
No, I was going to ask you a question, because obviously, like you, I've been to Carnival a couple of times, and I've never really saw anything per se. So obviously, I'm blessed and charmed as always. But do you? So I forgot what I was going to say. I just wanted to
bubble around it.
You have something to say, and then you veer down to the blessed and charmed, and then you've forgotten what you had to say.
I know. I was just going to ask you, right? Do you think, like Shelley mentioned before, when she was giving the numbers, that those are the ones that are reported? So it would be the same thing, isn't it? Because I don't know. It's just, I just remember the last time I went to Carnival, somebody did get killed there, and I didn't see. Yeah, I didn't see it. I think it was that one incident there, and I'm sure it was something to do with coke as well, if I remember correctly. But I don't know. It just. Oh, I think the question I'm trying to ask, that do you think that these type of things are going to put people off going? And because again, when you look at it, please, nobody, don't come for me. I'm not saying that just because it's a small, minimal number of people that are doing it, that is okay. That's not what I'm saying. Because obviously, I know of a young group of boys that went on Monday, because they all had sleepovers at their big cousin's house, and they were all going, and they were going to a party afterwards. So you just think, as an older person, you just think with that in mind, oh my God, I hope nothing happens. Because like you said, that fight broke out, and then all the blokes in your crowd pushed all the females behind. But then again, I'm always thinking of the ones who are, like, if you do have a group of boys who do just want to walk by because they don't want to get involved, because obviously if one person in a group gets touched, then they're all going to go for them, and then it becomes something that it wasn't.
So in answer to your question around, do you think that's going to stop some people from going? The answer is yes, but then there's many more that will take their place. So I went to Carnival for years. We would go years and years. I've taken my children. I mean, I remember taking Remy, she was in the pushchair, so we've done it for years. And I think the last time, the last 2 times I went, I felt so uncomfortable and afraid. And then I just thought, I'm not going anymore. Now, my kids don't even go. I think Remy's been once or twice with her friends. They don't go anymore because you've got to make the effort to come from Luton down to London. And if you're not going to feel safe and enjoy yourself, then people are not going to go.
Yeah.
So I think there are some people that don't go. I don't go anymore. But I know many people my age who are still going. But as many that don't go, there will still be more that do go. And whether they're going because they're going to go to enjoy it, or whether they're going there for a specific reason to find somebody and hurt somebody or whatever, who knows? Who knows? But also, I remember the last few times, and this is quite a big thing, I think. All the years that we went, we'd have a couple of drinks in our bag. You might pick up a couple of drinks in the shop, and that's about it. Nowadays, they're walking around with big bottles of Jack Daniels, of brandy. They're literally drinking straight out of those litre bottles of alcohol. We didn't do that. We didn't do that.
I couldn't walk around all day drinking like that.
Even
if it was something lighter.
I couldn't. I don't even know. I'm not even going to say I could, because I couldn't. But there's a difference there with what was happening to what is happening now. I mean, firstly, I'm not buying a litre bottle to take to the carnival. That's just a waste of money. That is a waste of money. But a lot of the young people, that's what they're carrying. So they're going to get drunk. And then that then adds to whatever else is then going on.
But then how many of those arrests were for drunken, disorderly? Oh, these people. Well, literally just pure drunken, disorderly behaviour. Yeah. Because this is the thing, it kind of occurs to me, and I know probably they would cite the expense, but this is really where we need, some people would look at it the other way, but where we need to have a zero tolerance of any of that type of behaviour, whether it's drunken, disorderly, antisocial, I know there's an antisocial with intent to this and that, all of those things, before you even get to the why are you carrying a knife and why are you fighting. But then it makes me wonder, would there be space?
Well, there might not be space at the minute, because we've just filled it all up with rioters from a couple of weeks ago. So there might not be space at the minute, but I don't know. Zero tolerance around 1 million people. Have we got enough police to do that? You've got 8 people have been stabbed, but there's over 50 police officers who have been hurt as well. Have we even got enough police around to do a zero tolerance.
You know, it's funny actually. I was going through my phone the other day because I have to delete a lot of my stuff off of it, and I came across a picture from loads and loads of police vans from the 2011 riots in London. Because I used to work up in Petty France then, and I remember coming out, and I'm like, I went back and I'm like, have you seen this now? There were loads. I don't know if you imagine a road, right? I'm just trying to think of a comparable road, and literally you went out there, all you could see was police vans upon police vans, and I remember talking to one of them, as I do, you know, and they were from Scotland. They said, oh yeah, we've been drafted in from Scotland with his lovely Scottish accent, and I just thought, how ironic that I should come across that photograph like now. I mean, obviously there were different riots, and well, there were protests that turned into riots as opposed to these ones. There were actually much younger people, but yeah, I just thought, wow. So, yeah.
See, and Trisha's response, always enjoyed Carnival, got caught in the riots, police, riot shield, bricks being shown or bricks being thrown. She hasn't been for years, but her daughter and her friends still go. And I remember those years where there was riots and stuff like that. But again, it wasn't necessarily about people using knives and blades. Again, it was more around big fights that have then started.
And going back to the drinking thing, if that is your culture going into something like Carnival, if that's what they're doing all the time, it is the how people are reacting now generally all the time.
Yeah.
That if you're going in drunk,
yeah,
and you've got the knives on you, you're creating this kind of issue. Whereas back then it was, you weren't drinking the hard liquor all day. It was a knee-jerk reaction that, and it was the police believing something was going to happen back then, that they would be more in your face. So it would create the anger that caused fights and stuff back then. So it was that knee-jerk reaction of just let us party. But now it's turned into, all right, we're going to go to Carnival. Yeah, come on. Yeah, rile themselves up, and it's like, why are you like that? Why this is? And there's no case earlier. It was coming out from and actually saying, we are here. We've come over here. This is our culture. This is what we want to do, and have a big party, and everyone being there, happy together.
Yeah.
But it's turned, and it's
And you've got 1 million people over the 2 days, or even up to 1 million on the Monday itself.
No
and
tickets, no nothing.
Because it's free. We like a free event, don't we? But out of those 1 million people, there's got to be less than even 1,000 that are causing trouble.
It's the very small minority that is then seen as the bigger person, and it's
which is
never like it.
Which is why I'm always curious as well about how it's reported and stuff like that, because it's such a lovely, vibrant thing to witness. It's such a lovely and vibrant thing to witness that, and it just spoils it. It just it's crazy, but never mind.
Okay, so let's kind of wrap up, because otherwise it's going to be gone 1 o'clock again. If you haven't been and seen the Knife Angel, you need to get down there before it goes. It's not about violence as such. It is that, you know, all of these knives have been handed in. It's in the middle of St. George's Square, and if you remember, when we had Wingman Mentors on, I asked, was it going to be safe if we had riots in Luton? It would have been, because it's really, really, you know, there's metal where it's all laid down, etc., etc. So it would have been safe. It would have been safe. But go down and have a look. It is just something that is worth having a look at, and we're lucky enough to have it in our town before it then moves on. And yeah, so just kind of get yourself down there and have a look. Wingman Mentors, we will be posting when they've got another bingo event. Trisha has said that the money that she won was only change, and if she wins big, then she might share it out.
Oh my God!
One man's change is another person's big.
Yeah,
you know. But we will let everybody know, because it was a really good event. Raise money for a really, really good cause. We need those bleed kits in our area so that they can, you know, they can save people's lives. That's what we need to have them out there for. So I just want to end on something that I watched this morning on Instagram, and it's about purpose. And what it's only a little something, Nico. Don't get too excited. So it's about purpose and how people often get the definition of purpose wrong.
Yeah.
So, myth number 1: purpose should be your career. Should it be your career?
No,
so for some people, purpose is their career. So think about your purpose as your legacy. Do you want your legacy to be your job title, or do you want it to be your personality trait, a talent, or something you can give back to the world? So all of those out there that are thinking that I'm CEO of this, or I'm managing this, or whatever, is that what you want your legacy to be? Okay. So myth number 2: your purpose should be something big. Don't compare yourself to celebrities, friends, or work colleagues. Your purpose is unique to you, just like you are. So again, because of so-and-so's got this, that doesn't mean that that needs to be your purpose. This is the last one. So myth number 3: passion and purpose are the same thing. No, they're not. So passion is a powerful feeling or an emotion that we have, whereas purpose is about why we are here. Something. So why we are here. You may feel passionate about something, but when that passion becomes a contribution to the world, it becomes your purpose.
Yeah.
Okay. So just think about that.
I love that. 100% love it. I love the one about your job and your purpose.
Yes.
Because it's
my job when I was a manager within learning dis mental health field, that's what I thought my purpose was. That's what I thought, because that was my career. And actually, and maybe it was for all of those years, but it isn't now. That it's not about having that title of area manager, and that's what I was doing. No, now I'm giving back because I'm a therapist. I'm giving back. And when I work with young people, I am just a therapist. I'm not a manager. I'm not this. I'm a therapist. And that for me was very much like, oh, yes, I can see that.
But also, that time when you were working and where you mentioned that, you were obviously you could have been feeding into somebody else's purpose. Because, you know, a lot of these people that want to say something, say, oh, well, you know, if you don't create your dreams, you're just creating somebody else's dreams. But they don't know that, like you said, you could be living your purpose or your dreams on the side. It doesn't necessarily have to be part of your day job. I mean, obviously, if you are, then you will be blessed and triply charmed. But just saying. But no, I love that. That's really good. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
You have to type that out in the notes. And
put it on. Yeah. Okay. I'll do that. I'll send it to you because you can share it.
Okay.
Because I might do it wrong. Actually, that's my purpose. Maybe this year to actually learn how to do IT. That needs to be my purpose. But again, that could be my purpose.
Yeah, it's
not my passion.
Well, because
it's not passion, yeah.
But when you were going back there, because obviously I have a scientific background, as you know, and I remember in the lab we used to do experiments, and you had to write up the experiments, and you had to write what your aim was, what the purpose, and what the objective, and all of that was. And funnily enough, that was one of the things I always used to lose marks on, because, you know, obviously now I know that the aim is all airy-fairy, is up there, and what the purpose or objective of it is, and what the goals and the difference was. So I think also, I just say all of that to say that I think the reason why people sometimes mix their job up with their purpose is not because of what's the word? It's simply because you just don't know, because it's just a word, and they don't realise that your purpose, your legacy, what you want to leave, is personal to you.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that idea of being part of a collective purpose or just the purpose of like crossing the road or going to buy bread or something. You know, sometimes they get a little bit intermingled.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
yeah.
I love that. I love those questions are really good to help define.
What you just said just reminded me of something that that came up. It was talking about medications and things. So if someone's out there and they have a purpose, they've got their form written out, what the aim is, that this medication is to help with this particular thing. How many medications out there have then been found that it's not only helps that, but it helps something else and it helps something else? So their aim and their purpose, it's just all it just shows that blindsided with one thing, and it's not what has actually been in the outcome.
Yeah.
And in a very loose kind of way, this also feeds into some of the reasons why we do have knife crime, is because some of it is based around, well, I want this and I want this now, and I don't necessarily want to go and do a 9 to 5 to go and earn the money to get that. I just want to get that money right now so I can go and get it. And some of that crime is built in that as well.
Yeah.
It's not about having all of those things.
Sometimes it's just desperation as well, yeah.
So I will write that up and we can put that out on our page. Okay.
Let's go put it up on our page and then I'll share it. I said, my friend Cecile found this and we put it up there. I do. I quite often I always make reference to the fact that during lockdown on the Zoom, they always used to say, yes, we're all in the same storm, but we're in different boats.
Yeah.
I recently heard somebody else say that, and I just thought, you stole that from Dee. But obviously they were in a different stratosphere. But yeah, but
they might very well have done. They might very well have done. Okay, so everybody, if you're watching us on Catch Up, let us know. Any questions, put them in there. Just let us know that you've been watching and your thoughts on knife crime. Let us know if you've been to see the Knife Angel and what you thought of it. Yeah, just keep in touch. Keep in touch. Right, so we will be back, not next week, the week after.
Yes.
The week after, which is what date? What date is that? We need to prepare this.
Yeah, we do like the post here.
Okay, we might be here next week. And then we'll sort it all out. Anyway, right, so see you same time next week, 12 o'clock, as usual, and love to you all. Yes. Bye, everybody.
Much love. Bye. Bye.